Hello, happy 4th of July. I hope you're enjoying this beautiful day of freedom and love and joy. I wanted to continue with the blessings for humanity today, even though it's technically a holiday and might have less attendance than normal. But if you are available, come play. Join us to bless humanity. I also do a group healing, and I will be doing some community connection questions towards the end. And if you want to be a part of the community, please go to blessinghumanity.com so you can log in via Zoom, because that is where we're going to be doing the interaction. So I'm going to log off of the live stream and continue on Zoom once we get past the meditation and the group healing, so that we can do that community connection face to face via Zoom. Okay, so you've got to be logged into blessinghumanity.com, okay, to get access to that Zoom. So let's go ahead and start with a prayer. I'd like to ask the blessings of the Supreme God, Divine Mother, Divine Father, all the great ones, spiritual teachers, spiritual elders, angels, saints, helpers, and guides. We thank you. Thank you for the divine light, divine love, divine power, the healing, the mercy, grace, and ease, the prosperity and abundance, goodwill, and the willingness to do good, the joy, the inner peace and harmony. Thank you for the intuition and guidance and healthy self-esteem and healthy self-confidence to take action on that guidance, the discernment to know the inner guidance versus some other kind of mental chatter. Thank you, God, for all of the love and the help and the blessings. We bow to thee. Thank you. So we'll go ahead and get our heart chakras nice and big and activated, because more blessings come when we do that. So be aware of your heart, touch your heart even, breathe into your heart, think of a happy moment. Like doing this kind of a preference to blessing the earth has been really helpful, and it's what Master Choa taught us when doing the Twin Hearts meditation. Like, you know, let your heart chakra get activated and your crown chakra get activated, and then more blessings pour through. And that's what we're going to be doing. So think of a happy, joyful moment in your life. Be aware of your heart chakra. Breathe into it. Let it get bigger and brighter. Good. And be aware of your crown chakra on the top of your head. Same thing. Get big. Think of a happy moment. Let your crown chakra get bigger and brighter. One more deep breath. Now being aware of both your crown and your heart chakras simultaneously, and take a big deep breath into both. And on this breath, smile at your heart chakra and your crown chakra at the same time as you inhale and exhale. For those of you who are sensitive, you may have noticed like a greater peace or a shift or a joy just from doing that one little thing. Tiny but mighty. So now imagine the earth in front of you like a small ball, and we're going to bless the earth, okay? And I feel like starting with the Great Invocation by Holy Master Dwalku. From the point of light within the mind of God, let light stream forth into the minds of men. Let light descend on earth. From the center of the heart of God, let love stream forth into the hearts of men. May Christ and the great ones return to earth. From the center where the will of God is known, let purpose guide the little wills of men, the purpose which the holy masters know and serve. From the center which we call the race of men, let the plan of love and light work out, and may it seal the door where evil dwells. Let light, love, and power restore the plan on earth. From the point of light within the mind of God, let light stream forth into the minds of men. Let light descend on earth. From the center of the heart of God, let love stream forth into the hearts of men. May Christ and the great ones return to earth. From the center where the will of God is known, let purpose guide the little wills of men, the purpose which the holy masters know and serve. From the center which we call the race of men, let the plan of love and light work out, and may it seal the door where evil dwells. Seal the door where coronavirus dwells. So be it. Cast out all that darkness. Bring them more light. From the point of light within the mind of God, let light stream forth into the minds of men. Let light descend on earth. From the center of the heart of God, let love stream forth into the hearts of men. May Christ and the great ones return to earth. From the center which we call the race of men, let the plan of love and light work out, and may it seal the door where evil dwells. Let light, love, and power restore the plan on earth. So be it. So be it. Now keep being aware of your heart and your crown, and I'm just going to flow with it. All right. Thank you, God, for blessing every person, every being with love. So much love that this love transmutes anything that isn't love. Let your love, your light, your power flow through us, casting out all darkness, casting out all coronavirus, casting out the cruelties and injustices of the world. May all negativity be dissolved, disintegrated, extracted, transmuted, released, never to return again. Thank you, God, for dissolving and disintegrating ignorance, Maya, delusion. Thank you for dissolving and disintegrating fear, scarcity, worry, anxiety. God, bless people with peace and harmony. Let us be an instrument for your peace and harmony, an instrument for your healing, your light, your love, your power. God bless every person, every being with prosperity and abundance. God's blessings of faith and trust that this world is improving. It can improve. It is improving and doing so now. Thank you, God, for creating more health and vitality so that sickness is just non-existent. May the coronavirus be completely eradicated from this planet. May all people and all caretakers be blessed, 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 blessed with health and vitality, lots of energy, perseverance, resiliency to just keep going. Thank you, God, for blessing people with joy and hope. Bless them with spirituality, divine oneness and connection with you, Lord. Bless them with faith, faith and trust, faith that this too shall pass. Bless humanity with goodwill, and the desire to do good. Let us be good human beings and good human doings, doing good in the world, bringing more light and wisdom and intelligence, being good to the planet, helping the planet to heal and recover so that the planet can have clean air, clean earth, clean water, spiritual loving people who take care of her. Blessings for our economy, our local, our national, our international economies. Prosperity and abundance just flow. Imagine that you just got like gold bling coming out your hands, blessing our economy with so much prosperity, abundance, that we recover really, really fast. Let there be an energy of plenty, of enough, of abundanza. And may we all open up to even greater prosperity, abundance, multiple streams of income, active income, passive income. May money come to everyone on this planet with ease. Ease and flow. Thank you, God, for also blessing all of our leaders, all of our political leaders, corporate leaders, family leaders, community leaders. Heal our planet. Give us good leaders so that we can all improve as a human race and do better. May these leaders be wise, be heart-centered, be compassionate, be joyful, be full of divinity and a desire to be selfless and bring out the best in everyone. May our leaders be spiritually connected, spiritually guided. And may these leaders listen to that guidance and take the action from that guidance. Thank you, God, for blessing humanity with the wisdom and the courage to vote and to elect really good leaders, the best leaders possible in the upcoming election later this year. Thank you, God, for just shedding so much light and purification that all the heaviness is lifted. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. May we be your instrument, not only now during this blessing, but always, day and night, attuning to you, being your instrument in the world. Thank you for this opportunity to serve. Amen. Now put your palms down on your lap, but facing upwards. So palms up, but resting on your lap. We're going to meditate and get still and quiet for a few minutes. So just relax and let go. Be still and know God. Good job. Now continue with this peace and quiet and open yourself up to healing. I'm going to start the group healing now. Lord, I am thy instrument. May every person watching this video receive deep healing now. May all of their chakras, meridians, subtle bodies, the physical body be cleansed, be healed. Let all stress and fear and worry and anxiety just melt away. Let go. Let yourself receive deep healing on all levels. Whatever it is that you want to receive healing for, please put it in the chat. And also, if you're doing the chat from Facebook, you have to click on the link that lets StreamYard and Facebook get permission to post your post. So I can see it. Good. Okay, I'm seeing some requests for more financial help and prosperity. Good. So in your basic chakra, you're at your sacrum, your moneymaker. That's where your prosperity center is. So let's let that get even more cleansed. Good. Just keep breathing and let go. Be open and receptive to healing. Mhm. Keep breathing and letting go. See greater prosperity and abundance. Good job. Keep letting go. Breathe in divine healing energies and exhale all that no longer serves you. Breathe in peace and love. Exhale stress, fear, worry, anxiety. So be it. Receive, receive, receive. Okay, take a few slow, deep breaths. Good. Keep going. Let the healing energies and blessings absorb, assimilate, and physicalize deeply, completely, and permanently into every cell, every particle of your being. I'm going to put something in the tap. Okay, great. So, for those of you who are live streaming, if you want to participate in the next portion of this call, you've got to be in Zoom, because we do these really cool on Saturdays community connection questions where we get to know each other at a personal level. We're sharing, we're growing, these are thought-provoking, heart-centered kinds of questions, not just the shallow, hey, how you doing. They're deeper than that. So if you are searching for an empathic community and like-minded spiritual souls to connect with, then you've got to log on to my Zoom, and you can access that by RSVPing at the blessinghumanity.com. It'll direct you to the page, and then you can join us over at Zoom. So I'm going to stop the broadcast now of the of the live stream, and if you want to join us in the community, you've got to go over to my Zoom. And for those of you who are already in my Zoom, please just give me one moment. Okay, and my Zoom peeps, hi. How you doing?
Hello.
Hello. So I'm going to type in the chat again what the questions are so that you've got them easily accessible, and we'll see who else might join us. I know that it's 4th of July and some people are just kind of playing today. So to me, this is playing. My way of playing. So June and Maribel, I'm glad that you could come. Where in the world are you today, Maribel? I thought I saw something about you abroad a few days ago.
No, no, I was supposed to go because it's Kenzie's birthday. But he's in Albania, and my visit got denied. So I'm like, okay, next year. Yeah, so our plans kind of changed rapidly. But he's spending time with like all the family and just relaxing and stuff. So I told him, we'll see each other maybe next month and just enjoy your mom and your dad, and eventually you're going to be away from them, so it's a good time to just really bond and just be with family. And then kind of doing the same here. But
Okay.
yeah.
Did they deny it because of the
because I'm American. This is not a good time to be American in Europe.
Yeah.
Because my passport ultimately says America. So I tried to go through Mexico, but either way, they said once I got to my layover, it would be denied and I had to come back. So I didn't think that was worth the risk and just come
America
away.
because of our high coronavirus rates.
Yeah. So
yeah, I assumed we would be on the barred from entering abroad.
I know. So freedom for me right now would be to just be able to travel. But even within that, looking at where do I travel here where I can go, and what are things that I could do that still allow me that same sense. So
Uh-huh.
I know, like, I'm visiting my mom this afternoon or this late evening. And I'm like, oh, I haven't really spent 4th of July with her in a few years. So I think that'll be nice bonding time. And then
Mhm.
maybe on Monday and Tuesday going to the beach, and hanging out there after the crowds.
Mhm.
So it looks different for me. Um, if I had not been born, what would be different from this world? Um, I think about that a lot.
Really?
Because I love, one of my favorite shows is Grey's Anatomy,
I love
and
it too.
I don't want to give any spoilers, but so someone was going to get their license revoked, and they talked about, like, if I have not, like, if my license was revoked, the lives of, like, all these people would have been impacted. And so a lot of times, because of the work that I do that I didn't want to do, I feel that my life has purpose. And I thought of myself in that moment, like, who would come up and what would they say of how I've impacted their lives. And I'm really blessed to have a job and a role that I get to do that. As much as I fought it for like several years. Like, I don't want to be a therapist. I don't want to do that. I'm like, oh, it's the same thing I always do. I used to do.
Mhm.
I still do it. I just catch it faster. And I'm like, oh, I'm doing that thing I used to do. And then I get back on track. So I think that would have been completely different. Um, what surprised me about myself this week? Um, I guess I was thinking about it because I mean, this week was kind of hard, in terms of, like, can I go? Can I, that ambiguous of, like, yes, no, maybe, not sure. And um, I guess what surprised me was, like, okay, focusing on the positive things about it, and even if I can't experience those things, which is the FOMO, fear of missing out.
Mhm.
Like, I want to be there, I want to be doing those things. Like, it's not fair, and that's the old ways. And it's like, oh, it's okay. Like, that surprised me because I'm happy for him. And even if
Mhm.
it means, like, I'm not there experiencing those things, I'm like, oh, but I'm happy that he gets to do that and gets to have a good birthday around his parents. Um and even if I'm not there, like, I don't feel that I'm missing out.
Mhm.
I don't feel like, oh, I should be there. It's like, okay, well, it didn't happen this time, let's see in August, and let's just wait. And I think that surprised me. It also came up because I have micro preemies, and my girls were born at 24 weeks. And one of my friends was saying how she feels that, like, she also had a preemie, but her son was born like 20, no, maybe 30 weeks. And she says, well, every time I look at a pregnant woman, I feel like, well, that's not fair. I didn't get to experience that. I didn't get to have the bonding time. And I think I had a proud moment where, like, wow, I missed out. I didn't even realize I missed out on those things until she mentioned that. I was like, I missed out on that too, but I've never really missed that. It was
Mhm.
just like, oh, I'm glad they're alive, and oh, I'm glad they're healthy. So I think those two kind of went parallel for me this week, where it was brought up, and I thought, wow, wow. And then it also brought the awareness of people also think that way. So just
Mhm.
because I look at it differently doesn't mean that everyone feels that way. And to honor her, like, I'm like, how can I not be like, well, you shouldn't be feeling that, or why do you feel that or think that? But how can I just honor, like, wow, she missed out on that, and
Mhm.
she feels that pain
Mhm.
versus, other ways. So I think that kind of came together last night. And then with your question, I was thinking about it last night, and then with your question, it just kind of tied together. It was like, oh yeah, that's true. So thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks for sharing and thanks for being here. And I'm sorry you couldn't go see your hubby.
I know. Like he says, we'll have a lifetime together.
Aw.
I'm like, okay.
When will he get permission to come here?
He just got his Italian residency. He needs to have an interview, and then he can come. So he can come back now. It's just a matter of his interview. He didn't want to set up that interview because originally we were going to meet in Mexico, and then he's like, if they give me the interview for next week, then I'm gonna have to fly back. And now because he's in Albania, the interview is gonna be in Italy, Napoli, Italy. So he has to travel whenever they give him that interview. So just
Okay.
a lot of patience and relaxing. And I think with COVID, it's kind of changed a lot of things. But it's like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
well, it's still happening, just slower and not at our time. And maybe that's the way it's supposed to be, and that's okay. I know.
And you guys are going to meet in Mexico?
We were planning to in August because I can't go to Albania yet. I don't think I'll be able to go. Yeah, so he has a meeting with the embassy on Tuesday to see if I can go. I told him, I said, I married you for your Albanian passport. Kind of laugh. He goes, "Are you serious?" I'm like, "I love your last name, and I want to get an Albanian passport. What do I need to do?" So we've looked into that. I do have to be a resident for a year, and then I do speak the basics. So I've been practicing like the interview questions. Like they would ask me like, "What's your name?" in Albanian, and I have to answer that. And where are you from? What's your surname? Just different little questions. So I can speak it a little.
Are we allowed to have dual passports
I
with
can.
Okay.
I can, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So he'll have his Albanian citizenship. He now has his Italian residency, and then now he's getting his American residency.
Cool.
So yeah. And I hope to have my Albanian residency and my green card.
I think it's so cool that you met him when you were doing my spiritual retreat in Italy. Like, that is such a positive testimonial, I gotta say.
If it wasn't for that, I would have been like, oh no. Just it would have been me. Like sometimes I catch myself and I'm like, okay, that's the old me. Like relax, or like he'll say things like, oh, like who cares? It's gonna be the rest of my life. And then the past will be like, okay, sure. And I'm like, okay, no, let that go. Practice, get centered, get to that, and so it's been nice. Yeah, like he gets me.
Way cool.
Yeah.
So happy for you.
Yeah. I was open and receptive.
Atta girl. Yeah.
I know. I was like, okay, thank you, Tiffany.
You're welcome.
Yeah. I love it when we're on that call and I was like, I have never had interest in Italy, no interest in learning Italian. Like in high school, people are like, do you want to learn? I'm like, no, I have no interest of ever going to Italy. And then you're like, but I see you there. I see you. I'm like, oh, I really don't. And then once I became open, it was like, okay, I do. And traveling. And I was also one that would say, like, I don't have time for that. I only have 5 days. I can't, or 4 days. And I don't know, being gone that long, like that would be impossible. And I was like, okay, well, the 2 weeks turned into, I think, 20 something days. And I was like, oh, I had the
With
trip of my
God's
life.
blessings, all things are possible. And I was going to include the Italy retreat and the soul level of my embodiment mentor program, but with all the, no travel stuff, I couldn't, like I just can't do that. So I've only got the heart and the crown levels for embodiment, and we'll have to consider Italy maybe next year. I guess we'll see how
Probably
COVID.
2 more years.
Gosh, I know, probably. And it's all right.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
there's,
now I can't imagine my life not going to Italy,
yeah.
and everything that I learned there, and like the practices and the meditations and the experiences um, I had in getting to Italy, the experiences I had in Italy in the retreat, during the retreat, and then after. I think it all just kind of tied together. And
Hmm.
because we had those calls before that, myself and Stephanie, like, we were ready for it. And
Yeah.
it was just like, it was let's say it was a trip of a lifetime.
Hmm. I know June, who's on this call, she wanted to know more about the Italy retreat, and I'm like, I'm sorry, we can't. I'm not doing it right now.
Oh my God, now I definitely want to go.
Well, and I remember when we went to because Tiffany could see your blind spots. And when we went to the Vatican, I remember like the issue that I had, and Tiffany's like, "Great time to practice." I'm like, "Oh, this trip has really been a lot of practice." Like, and so everything just kind of came together. And like, even to this day, I mean, I know I'm still impacted because of the trip and because of everything that we did during that week long that felt like forever, but it just went by like so
Mhm.
fast. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. That was awesome. And now I
You're
do speak some
welcome.
Italian. I can understand conversations. I'm like, oh, it's very fascinating. And I learned how to cook some items. And he's like, when I get over there, I'll teach you how to more. And don't be afraid. Like, always tell me, like, don't be afraid. Just speak it. You know how to speak it. And I'm like, wow, we're going, was it 3 years now? Going on 3 years? Oh my gosh, two, three
Wow.
years. Yeah.
Wow, that's so cool. We
Yeah.
we still need to have an Italian cooking day. And
Oh, I know.
like I did buy a pasta maker, but I barely used it. I used it when I first got it, and then I kind of put it in the cupboard, and
Oh, it's the best. I have all
yeah.
my spices that I brought. I told him I haven't gone, so I'm running low. And I was like, I'm running out of my pasta. I'm running out of my spices, and they don't make them the same here. And my tartufo, so he sent me some stuff.
Hmm.
But he's like, make a list of everything you like. And I'm like, the salt and the shredded red peppers together mixed. It's like, you Americans are weird.
I mm, last week or the week before, I pulled I cut some herbs from my garden, like oregano and thyme and rosemary and
Mm.
basil, and um, I don't think I put sage in this one. And I just made like pasta with butter, um, Parmesan, and those fresh herbs, and it was so good. I was like,
Hmm.
yes, with just a little, like, garlic and herb seasoning, and it was so good.
Yeah, the food there's so good.
I
And
know, I miss it.
the thing is, I know, like, I let people, I don't influence me. And I had always heard like, oh, Italy, they're mean people. Italians are rude. And Italy, the food is not good, and they don't make it like a. So I let that influence me. I think in my younger days, I was like, oh, I have no interest in ever going there. And then until you were like, no. And what really drew me to Italy, it wasn't the location, it was getting closer to God. And that's what I was searching for. And I just thought, oh, and
yeah, I only go places that have like a spiritual component to them. Like to me, you know, for someone who just wants to go on an Italy vacation just to like play and, you know, shop and drink wine and just see the scenes, that's not me. Like I have a purpose, and my purpose is to help people connect to God. And here are some holy places that we can go and play and connect and meditate and feel that divine presence. And so that's my favorite part about doing spiritual retreats is like being in the holy vibrations.
yeah.
So, yeah, well, between that and the holy vibrations of my India retreat, oh, I love those two places. Those places feel like home to me, in addition to, you know, just being over here in Southern California. Like I feel very at home and love the food and love the the vibe.
Yeah.
So
I have my
we'll see. We'll see what happens, you know, in maybe 2 years from now.
I urge you to go.
So, June, I know you've been soaking up everything that we've been talking about with Italy, and I can feel you like desirous to want to go
Yeah.
more now.
I'm like, I was like a yes before I ever even knew anything. And now I'm like a quadruple yes. Thank you, Maribel.
You will love it. It's just,
Oh my
I mean,
God. I so, yeah. Wow.
just the way everything culminates together, and the location, and like Tiffany said, the sites that we visit, and the prayers, the meditation, just everything just comes together. It was beautiful.
Gorgeous. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Hey, June, can we see your beautiful face?
Yes, let me figure that out. Okay, here we go. I always put my computer on the floor. So I'm like always like an Indian style, and I have to figure out where the heck it is. So, okay, here. All right. Yay. Hi. Okay.
Okay. So tell us where you're from.
So I am June from Florida. And what does freedom mean to me? Freedom means the ability to do what I'm inspired to do when I'm inspired to do it. And like what that means might be getting up and spending the day at the beach. It might be going for a swim. It might be sleeping late. It might be taking a nap during the day. It could be any of those things, like just following my intuitive guidance as to what's next, you know, just having that freedom, that time, space, spaciousness to do what feels right in the moment. And then if I weren't born, what would be different about the world? I think there would be less positivity in the world, and less I would say flirting, and I mean that's defined for me as just simply enjoying yourself in the presence of somebody else. It's not about getting anything or manipulation or anything like that, but just enjoying yourself with another. And what surprised me about myself this week is that I guess it was Friday that I really did a lot of cleansing and clearing myself. And I allowed myself to really go deep. I don't know whether they were the Sedona methods or what, but somehow it just came to me to do these, and I just really went deep with them and had a lot of clearing. So that surprised me. Yay. So yeah, I'm so gonna go to Italy.
For
I
for
will
the
start.
record, I was not looking for a husband, okay?
Well, it's funny that you said that, because today is the first time, like I did a retreat 2 years ago where finding a soul partner was one of the things, but nothing has came forward. A lot of things have been shifting around, and today, the very first day in my journal, I wrote here, it's time for my man. So it's funny that
I'll
we
say
were being
practice what Tiffany says, be open and receptive.
yes, open and receptive.
And be clear and concise what you're looking for.
Yes,
And
definitely. Yay. Thank you so much. What a gift.
Aw, thank you both for sharing. So for me, I am in Southern California in Orange County. Freedom is joy. Freedom is deep meditation. Freedom is love, loving unconditionally, loving fully, loving infinitely. Freedom is the ability to easily have a roof over my head, food in my kitchen, all that I need. Like I feel very blessed and lucky, especially having been to other third world countries and knowing how lucky we as Americans really are. Freedom also looks like that being in nature, whether it's just being on the beach, and I'm imagining this beach in Dana Point that I used to live very close to, and I would walk to a lot. Like it was a 10-minute walk to get to the water, and it was just gorgeous. Or being in the trees, like in nature with like big redwoods or open spaces in Colorado. Oh my gosh, there is this beautiful mountain that's like at 10,000 feet that my friend Michelle Skrull, my bestie out in Colorado, we would take her horses and trailer them up. And then we would ride at like 10,000 feet, and we'd start in the aspen trees and go up into the pine trees and like overlook, like at the peaks on horseback, these big, beautiful open skies. And it was so like spacious. And to me, that is a physical representation of freedom. I love it there. I haven't been in probably 2 years, and I miss it. And yeah, that's fantastic. And if I had not been born, what would be different about the world? No, I almost think you guys could answer that question better than I could. But my guess is
I was thinking like there would be a lot more suffering.
Hmm.
Yeah, you definitely bring loads of light and love and just peace to everything. I mean, just you exude and possibilities.
Yeah.
Just possibilities. Yeah. And if there's anybody that I see God through, it is you. Like I feel God more when I just even look at you. Like I feel God. And that's a gift.
Thank you. And I think if I wasn't here, maybe there would be less love, less acceptance, less joy. And I'm just grateful to be able to be here and be of service in this way. And thank you for saying what you both said, because I don't always think about it. It's just like, it's who I am, So some of that stuff is probably in my blind spot, like the ways and the impact that I have in contributing to others. Like, yeah, I don't always see it for myself, but I'm happy to help and be of service when I can. And what surprised me about myself this week, for like a week and a half, just non-stop healing of people and animals in ICU, that like I was literally physically doing healing for 15 to 17 hours a day. Plus I had a couple of obligations that I needed to do, was doing some interviews. Like I had 5 interviews of podcasts and Facebook lives and, different shows interviewing me. So I still had to like have energy for that and put on makeup. Even though I was dead tired, yet shifting into just that archetype of healer and teacher and coach gave me the energy to still do it. And shifting into that, and there were times when my hand hurt so bad from like all the repetitive motion and holding my heavy crystal, and doing all this stuff. And so I would sweep my hand. I put on the kinesiology tape to like give my hand and wrist some support. I washed my hands with soap and water and salt like every half an hour. I put on peppermint essential oil and lavender essential oil, trying to like heal and disinflame, and I got through it. And, people and animals are recovering. Nobody is in the hospital or vet anymore. I am bummed that one doggy did pass. It happened so fast. Like I couldn't get to help this doggy in the way that I would really want to. I just had already so many ICU cases going on. I just couldn't stretch any further than, saying some prayers and trying to multitask a little bit. So that part was a bummer, but I know intuitively, like it was just the doggy's time, even though it's sad. But everybody else like recovered, and so as I, was just like, okay, God, this is your hand. God's hand is my hand. God's healing is my healing. And that helped me to not focus on, how sore and tired I was for like lifting my hand and doing that repetitive motion for, 15 to 17 hours a day. Like just to know that I can do it if I need to do it, and was good. Like I don't think I've ever done more than say 12 to 14 hours in a day. So to do upwards of like 15, 16, 17 hours, multiple days in a row, plus a few other obligations and maybe a little sleep, for that duration. So in crisis, I can do it. I now am clear that I can. And I can only do it by truly shifting into being in service mode. Like, okay, God, I'm your vessel, use me. use me. Your hand is my hand. This body is your body. Your energy is my energy. Just use me, God. That's the only way I'm going to get through this. And it's the best way, to get through this. And to be that surrendered, even when not in crisis, it is, I think, an important muscle. And had I not been building those muscles already, I don't think I could have done it. And with God's blessings, everything is working out. And I got through it, and I got a full night's sleep last night. And I got to play in my garden today before I got on this call, which, other than watering my, fruits and veggies and herbs, I didn't have time to do anything in the garden. And so I got to do some gardening. I planted asparagus that I had grown from little seeds, and then they were this big and ready to go into the ground, and it'll take another 3 years for them to be ready to eat. But that was nurturing, and yeah, I just feel full and happy and joyful to keep serving in the way that I am. And thank you guys for helping to spread the word so that more people can know about, these calls, which I'm going to look at the calendar. So we've got July 8th and July 11th, July 15th and July 18th. And then starting in August, I'm pulling it back because I've got my 6-month mentor training program that I pushed back because of COVID, but it starts in August. So I'm just going to try to weave these Blessings for Humanity calls in between my mentor calls. So I'll do the Blessings for Humanity on the 2nd and 4th Tuesdays, or sorry, 2nd and 4th Wednesdays of the month at 6 o'clock Pacific, starting in August. And yeah, if there's anybody who you think would love to be of service, tell them to go to blessinghumanity.com. And if you know people who would want to know about their blind spots and heal their blind spots, send them to my intro on July 16th at 6 p.m. Pacific. And they could just register for that for free at seeyourblindspots.com. So, yeah, and for you guys who I've worked with pretty extensively, for Maribel, it's been at least a couple of years now, maybe 4 even. Well, probably since 2015. So 5 years.
5 years, yeah.
Yeah, 5 years. So if you want to up-level yourself and consider, going in for another round of the mentor program, be curious to see who you'd become now that we've shed off even more of those layers of the onions and can go even deeper. So the invitation is open for you in June and anybody else who would like to participate in my embodiment mentor program. And all of this info is at my website, highlyperceptivepeopleacademy.com. Thank you guys. And any other closing comments before we wrap up for the day?
Thank you. Happy 4th.
Thank you.
Happy Freedom Day.
I know, freedom. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Bye.
Bye.